With all other Season 2 Lobotomy E.G.O IDs done, Red Sheet Sinclair time. We would grab the usual duo of LCB Mersault and Spy Sinclair, but we already use Sinclair, so just LCB Mersault will have to do. And instead we double down on healing with Chef Ryoshu and the G-Corp Gregor. As for damage boost, we use up our remaining cost for Ting Tang Honglu. And honestly, I had to use all cost possible to make this run even feasible to start. In all seriousness, this has to be the hardest solo run, not only that I've done so far, but also at all in the game. And I am pretty sure it would be way more bearable with him being Uptie free. And I knew that coming into the run, but since everything I run is Uptie 4, I decided to continue the trend and put myself through a bit more hell. But for the reason why Uptie 3 is easier than Uptie 4, we'll come back in a second. Let's go for his skills first to truly sell how hellish this run was. Let's explain the Talisman mechanic real quick. Sinclair inflicts talismans to himself in order to inflict them on enemies. Every time anyone is hit while having Talisman, they gain Rapture equal to the number of talismans they have. Additionally, if 6 or more stacks of Talisman are present, at the end of turn, Wielder loses all of them and takes fixed damage based on Talisman count. Quick note, Talismans can and will stagger you if you mess up, and they will also deal damage at the very end of the fight if you had too many of them on your final turn. His skill 1 is a single coin blunt gluttony attack, inflicts some Rapture, gains Talisman if the enemy has enough Rapture. Nothing crazy, really basic skill 1. Skill 2 is where the issues start. It's a 3-coin Pride blunt attack, each hit inflicting some talismans onto Sinclair. It rolls decently well, but if used incorrectly, you can be left with a lot of threatening talismans on self, which the enemies will absolutely use to kill you in a single turn. Yep, this is one of those runs where one coin rolling badly can completely turn a one fight into losing 200 health, and I don't mean one clash. I mean one coin. But for that to make sense, let's see his skill 3. A 2-coin Lust Pierce attack, which main gimmick is transferring harmful talismans onto the enemies. But there's a catch. You need 5 or more talismans on yourself in order to transfer any of them. And that brings us to the biggest bane of his kit. Right after using skill 2, we should have exactly 5 or 6 talismans, which allows us in the same turn to basically go for skill 3 safely without too much worries. Unless you lose one of your coins from skill 2 and end up with 3 or 4 talismans on yourself. Every single attack that goes right after will inflict a ridiculous amount of damage on you purely because of the Rapture from talismans, which is not helped at all by the fact that Talisman is extremely squishy, with a stagger bar extremely close to Fey Lantern AoE conditional boost, makes this run into a perfect representation of being on edge all the time. As for why Uptie 3 would be easier than Uptie 4, the reason is guard. Our guard turns into gluttony, which means if we ever need to not clash and use our guard, we are fairly frequently gonna activate our Gluttony Resonance passive, which will give us way more talismans and potentially krill us. In spite of all this, I enjoyed playing this run. But for the love of God, don't try this. This is actual anxiety throughout the whole run. There is not a single moment of "Whew, I've won." Nope, this is just anxiety every turn, every battle, every choice you make. I am pretty sure you cannot defeat any other floor 4 boss than what we've got this run, and it's been a bane for me for over a week now. But I also wanted to be done with it, since I knew this is gonna be the hardest clear out of all of them. And as I mentioned, pathing as this guy is hell as well. Being weak to blunt while dealing blunt damage means that the floors that would usually be really good for us turn into a nightmare that we have to gamble through. Both N-Corp and K-Corp enemies can absolutely destroy us with their blunt attacks, but thankfully, for some reason, the universe decided to give me a lot, and I mean a lot, TLA bots as enemies. Through floor 1 we managed to grab the most optimal golden urn there can be, as well as Perversion to help us fuel Fey Lantern and offset that horrible self-damage we suffer from, as well as Wrist Guard for lack of anything usable. The shop had Crown of Roses, and since we were low on cost, we recruited 7 Yi Sang and Heathcliff for more clashing power and damage on raptured enemies, along G-Corp Otis for the good old reliable random buffs per turn. Our floor 2 opened with Gathering Skulls, as well as Star Luminary, dropping one of his marbles for us in form of Tomorrow's Fortune, for severely needed gift options. Our boss was Calendar, so we had more than enough time to build up necessary coins, as well as the dolls deal slashing damage we could have tanked easily. We grabbed Grimy Iron Stake, which does have some uses, given our single coin skill ones. We had to skip recruiting for more support passives as this run looked way too good for me to just gamble away by being greedy. And game immediately gave me pat on the head with not only Grey Coat, but goddamn Scarlet Mobs, making this run easier, but by no means guaranteed. There was still a chance for a plethora of bosses that could have completely shut me down no matter what I did. Thankfully, floor 3 we got Beast Inquisitor with nothing there of an Inquisitor, which was not as easy as I would have expected, but with some smart E.G.O usage to heal and switch our resistances around, we came out victorious with Sunshower Gift as a reward. With our floor 4 shop, I grabbed Phantom Pain for some extra single target damage, and used up extra cost to furtherly get 7 Faust for more damage on raptured enemies, LCCB Ishmael for better guard and LCB Dawn for 10% damage on our skill 3. And we start off with Pekatulas. Well, that's a late one for sure, but as we all know at this point, they are generally a free win node with a high chance for an E.G.O gift, which we didn't get from it, but they are also a good time to generate resources. Instantly after, we get Hydration Check with Brazen Bull, and grab extra 70 cost from Wishing Cairn as its E.G.O gift is completely useless to us. Our Pekatula fight didn't give us any gift, but a random fight did roll a 5%, so we got ourselves a freebie in form of Little and To Be Naughty plushie. And with that, Lore 4 boss is here. Fairy Longlegs is, I think, the only boss that appears on floor 4 that we had any way of dealing with. And even then, it was beyond brutal. I had to retry the strategy used in floor 3, use Fey Lantern to heal, and instantly switch back to Branch of Knowledge in order to fix our sin resistances while trying to win the clashes. If you enjoy the content and want more, I'm currently still trying to get all Season 2 IDs finished with a solo run before Canto 5 is released, so subscribe, leave a like, comment, and feel free to join Discord for news and info when I stream and upload new videos. But this time, floor 4 boss is fast, so let's get back to the video. Since, in Talisman fashion, we either win by turn 5 or die by turn 5, there is no in-betweens. We grab Sticky Mag for more defense downs from our skill 3, and our shop instantly gave me the option to have more of said skill. But I had to sacrifice Special Contract and decided to grab Barbed Snare. I came to conclusion that Special Contract only helps me against bosses that already destroy me no matter what, so I skipped it in a heartbeat. As we rapidly move through floor 5, we grab Wound Clarid, which does nothing, Skeletal Crumbs, which does nothing, First Aid Kit and Lobotomy Pack that made this run possible at all. And I'll be real with you, you've seen the thumbnail, it's Brazen Bull. Red Sheet Sinclair is 4 times weak to it, so we deploy Ishi in the defense mode, and I want to say, legalize Shield Ishi against Brazen Bull. Enjoy!